Oh, yes.
Here we are.
Here we
Hello,
are.
hello.
Hello, hello, and welcome. Catherine, this is always fun doing this with
Mm.
you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here. And thank you all for watching.
This is for me, it's huge privilege, and it's a huge pleasure as well to share these moments with you and to invite our friends who are watching us live on LinkedIn and live on YouTube as well, or indeed those friends who will watch the recording to participate in creating something that we are so excited to bring into the world. Um, so, Patrick, tell us once again the mission of RIMPAGE, if you will.
I would love to. um, RimPage on paper, RimPage is on a mission to find the best basketball player in the world. And we're going to do that in a systematic way. We're first going to find the best player in every city, and then city champions will play for the state championship, and then state champions will play for the national championship. And then once we have 200 national champions, we'll put them all together in one final tournament called the Lions Tournament, which will decide the best player on the planet. Uh,
Mm,
so that's the mission on paper, but really what we're about is creating new opportunities where there were no opportunities before,
right.
giving people the ability to pursue their dreams,
Mhm.
removing the barriers, removing the gatekeepers so they can go directly to the world and showcase their talent.
Mhm. Huge, huge words. And let's start today with talking about vision, because RIMPAGE itself is a huge vision, and it
Huge vision.
takes a long time to develop the vision to the point where you can actually take action on a vision that size.
Right.
But I want us to compare that vision with beginning of discovery of that personal dream that we have inside us. And I want us particularly to focus today on young players, on someone who is passionate about playing basketball and who has a big dream, but who is also aware that there are a lot of obstacles on the way.
Right.
What does having that vision, keeping the vision, and um, how to bring that vision into reality in their life, where does RIMPAGE connect them with that? So first of all, let's start with RIMPAGE vision because it's a huge vision.
Right. Right.
Where was the
Well,
first inkling when you got this idea, and how did you feel back
um,
then?
I well, first of all, I grew up wanting to play in the NBA. And so I was in sixth grade when I made that decision. That's what I'm going to do when I grow up, is I'm going to be an NBA basketball player. I I was infected with the love of that game. And I know serious players know what I'm talking about. When that game gets in your heart, it's all you think about, it's all you want to do. I would go to sleep dreaming about how to score on people. And so I had that vision for myself. I wanted to be a professional basketball player. Well, as the years went by, I was never able to find the path that would lead me to that destination. It
Mhm.
was just always a destination. And the years were passing and I was getting older and older. And pretty soon I think, in my late 20s,
Mhm.
and it hadn't happened, but I still loved the game.
Mhm.
And then I remember I just had an idea one day. It just popped in my mind, the idea for RimPage. My earliest note was in 2009 of that. And then I just wrote it down. And then as time went on, more ideas came and I would write them down and I would just save them. And each idea was like a puzzle piece. And you put them all together. And after a while, a picture begins to emerge. And that was around 2017 when I got the full picture of what RimPage needed to be.
Right.
So that's where the vision was born,
Mhm.
and really, what it's about is removing those gatekeepers who will say to 9,997 athletes, "We don't want you. You three will take you." Three out
Mhm.
of every 10,000 is what they're taking, and so that's 9,997 crushed dreams. Kids like
Mhm.
me who grew up
Right.
wanting to be a professional basketball player, but have that opportunity not offered to them for one reason or another.
Yes.
What RIMPAGE wants to do is inspire them to dream again
Mm-hmm.
and to believe again in that dream, because now it's real. It can happen.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who are younger than 16, this is a very important message because you are coming into the world that
Yeah.
has one system in place. It has this league that is world famous, that I'm sure you are aware, as much as we are aware, has a very small capacity of actually entertaining all the basketball talent that is present
Right.
in the world. So basketball is forced into this very small, concentrated box where
Yeah.
most of the talent is ignored and pushed away.
Yeah.
And that balance is something that personally you experienced, right? And
Absolutely.
out of that desire to play on a bigger stage, and how you could correct that, this idea
Right.
you
Yeah,
did with Olympics.
it's a huge stage in terms of popularity.
Mhm.
Everyone wants to get on that stage and perform, but the stage isn't big enough for all the performers who want to get
Yes.
on it. Like,
Yes.
just imagine if the NBA had 3 times as many teams as they have. Like, let's say they had 90 teams. Suddenly there would be more space for more athletes and more people would get an opportunity. So you can see it's not really about how good you are. It's really about how much capacity that league has.
Yes.
RimPage has unlimited capacity. There's no limit to the number of players who can join this league. And that's very exciting, because what that means is every basketball player on the planet now has a fair and legitimate chance to live their dream of being a pro
Yes.
basketball player.
Yes. I want to talk to you about motivation, and perhaps for skeptics out there who it is true that when you have competition, you perform your best, right? And the more you
Yeah.
push yourself, the more you can shine. But
Mhm.
Rimpage as a big stage offers that opportunity to many more talented people, right?
Right.
Talented players and athletes. So talk to me how the rankings inside Rimpage League work, and what does it mean to somebody developing their best skills as a player? Let's just talk about as a professional basketball player,
Hmm.
right? Then we will add
Yes.
those elements that Rimpage adds that other leagues ignore.
As a pro right now, you can look at your stats, because leagues are accumulating and recording stats and reporting those stats. But a lot of times the comparisons are not uniform. Like, and that's why we have so many arguments over who's the greatest player of all time, and they're heated arguments. And
Yes, yes.
people will argue until they're blue in the face and angry and have a headache.
Yeah.
They'll argue. But really, what needs to happen is there needs to be an objective standard that
Mhm.
we compare every player to, so that we can see who's the best. And so what RimPage has is called the one champion formula. And it's one standard, one objective standard that we will measure every player on the planet by, so that when they have that ranking, a ranking in France is the same as the ranking in Chicago, which is the same as the ranking in all parts of Africa. One ranking system.
Yes.
Every RimPage player will receive
Mhm.
a city, state, national, and international ranking.
Mhm. And they're all on that same scoreboard, right?
Yes.
How
So
how
you
how
can
different?
see
Yes,
it vary. For once, you will be able to see how you stack up against every other player in the world.
right. And isn't that motivation enough for you to perform your
Absolutely.
best? Right.
Absolutely. I heard Michael Jordan say once that his motivation when he was a kid was to beat everyone at the park. So he would go to the park and he wanted to be the best player at the park, because that was the size of his reach. That's all he
Yes.
had access to. There were other parks down the block, but he couldn't
Yes.
compete against those players because he didn't know them. But with RimPage, imagine now you can compete against everyone else in the world and see how you stack up.
Absolutely. So tell us again, for that young person who really is so passionate about playing basketball, and maybe they're not even yet thinking, is this a dream that I can make a reality? Can I
Mhm.
really play basketball professionally? Tell me, what does it take for them to actually become a professional athlete? What does it take for them to become a rim page athlete?
Well, in order to join the league, go to the website and click sign up. And that's how you get your start. That's where your story with RimPage begins, with you just clicking sign up. So you join, you get a profile page, and then you start competing in matches. And every time you win a match, you get ratings points. Every time you lose a match, you lose ratings points. And over time, if you get better and better, you keep climbing to higher and higher ratings classes. And
Mhm.
so once you get to those higher ratings classes, you're an elite player. So your rating will show you where you are,
Mhm.
and then your ranking will show you where you are. But also it's about teaching the business side of the game, because they're absolutely, basketball is a business, sports is a business. That's really the pro aspect of it. Is
Yes.
first of all, the definition of pro is just getting paid for what you do. When you
Mhm.
get paid to do something, that's when you're considered a pro. The
Right.
higher you rank in RIMPAGE, the more those opportunities to get paid to play will come to you. And so what I say is all you have to do is win, and
Mm.
all the good stuff will come your way.
Yes. That's wonderful. So all you have to be concerned about is play your best game
Right.
and worry
Right.
about becoming better. And when I say worry, I don't mean really worry, but enjoy
Mm.
your game the next time you play and bring the best out of yourself. That is what
Yes.
we'll do. And other players in Rimpage will want to do the same. So you will never lack competition,
Right. Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
You can pick and choose who you set the matches with, right? There is so much
Hmm.
fun along the way that you can have, and you can measure yourself up against the best players, and in
Right.
there lies your opportunity to raise your level of your game right
Yes.
to the top. There isn't
Yep.
anything standing in the way. There isn't anyone else there needing to pick you and to say you are good enough, right?
Right. And that part is so important because we're used to having to be picked. But I want
Yes.
you to think about something. Think about every great person who achieved greatly in life. Who picked them to do that?
Mm,
They just had an idea. They had a vision for their lives and they went after it as if God himself called them to do that thing.
right.
And now look at how they've achieved and look at how they inspire us. And so don't wait. You don't have, that's the message. You don't have to wait anymore for the NBA to pick you or for some D1 school to pick you. You can pick yourself now. Get on this platform, showcase your talent, show the world what you have, and everything. All you have to do is win, and then everything else falls into place from there.
That is so wonderful. That is really important distinction. And I want you to have a look into person you really admire. Somebody really out there who has got your attention. It doesn't matter from what field, whether they are a scientist, whether they are an artist, a musician. Just look at somebody whose inspiration came from themselves deciding I am going to be the best version of me that I can be, not waiting for someone else to spot their talent.
Right.
Rimpage is offering you that same opportunity, and that is what is really rare.
Pick yourself to do great things in life. That's
Yeah,
the way it works. There will never be a government who picks you. There will never be a celebrity who picks you. Pick yourself to do great things in life. That decision
exactly.
is
For
yours.
all of those who have achieved outstanding levels of growth in their life and contribution as well, they have decided themselves that they want to be the best version of themselves. I guarantee that nobody picked them. Those who
Right.
have picked, they have reached a certain level, and then what usually happens is people are built up so that we can tear them down, right? We see it in the
Right.
newspapers all the time. So
Mm.
that is another way of approaching life. We are inviting you to approach life from the empowered point of view, which is always in your control and in your own hands.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So just know, once you join RimPage, you get a profile page. That
Mhm.
page is yours. That
Yes.
ranking is your ranking. That rating is your rating.
Hmm.
That's your platform. And it's up to you. For once, it's all up to you now. You
Rim.
have the power now to create a brand for yourself and work so hard that they know your name. Work until they know your name. Work so hard and play so well that they cannot ignore you anymore. That's the opportunity you have right now.
Yes. Yes. Nobody is standing in your way. Nobody
Yeah.
standing in the way of your brilliance and your greatness.
Right.
No doubt that you have this inside you, but perhaps
Mhm.
some things have scared you into doubting or
Mhm.
thinking, can I achieve this? Yes, you absolutely can. What was lacking is the opportunity. What was lacking was the stage upon which you actually have that opportunity,
Can
right?
I share a story real quick? My
Mm-hmm.
brother played college basketball, and there were five of us. Three of us went on to play college basketball, but this one particular brother always had the same problem. He was really good, but for whatever reason, he would run into teammates who were jealous of him. And so his own
Right.
teammates would stand in his way. They wouldn't pass him the ball and stuff like that. But at this one particular school, he went to Oklahoma Baptist University. He was the best player on the team. The coach told him, "You're the best player on the team." He couldn't get in the game. He was sitting on the bench waiting for the coach to put him in the game. And game after game, he's going to the coach saying, "Why? Why am I not in the game? Why are you not starting me? You see, I'm the best player on the team. You said I'm the best player on the team."
Yes.
That kind of stuff, you don't have to worry about anymore. You don't have to worry about a coach giving you playing time. You don't have to worry about tryouts and hoping that the coach picks you to play on the team. That's what I mean when I say you can pick yourself now. None of that stuff is standing in your way anymore.
Yes. Yes. You see, it's an point that you bring there because what I was thinking is that you decide that you are going to be professional, let's say professional basketball player, and you go for it. You pick yourself and you
Mhm.
absolutely offer your best at every stage. But also, I didn't take into consideration that in every single game you have to wait to be picked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, in every single game.
Game,
Yep. Yep.
right?
And
I
everyone who's played team basketball knows what happens when you make a mistake. You look over at the coach because you know he's already picked the next person to come and pull you out of the game. And we know how that is. And then so you go back to the sideline and the coach yells a few instructions to you or complains, "Why did you mess up?" And then you sit on the bench and hope that you can get back into the game. None of that anymore. You're the star. You're the star.
The star, absolutely. And every other player also is supportive of you. Even the competitor, they
Right.
raise their game together, right? Because
Right.
the better the opponent is, the better you want to beat, obviously, to beat them and improve your ranking. So you lose nothing of the team spirit.
Right. And
I
that's the whole honor and respect part of RIMPAGE. And you see it too in the UFC and in professional fighting. Those guys are battering each other. And what do they do when the fight is over? They hug each other. They thank each
Yes,
other, congratulate each other. And the reason is that they respect the journey that opponent is on. It's the same journey they're on. Also, they appreciate that opponent giving them a way to test themselves. And
Mhm.
that's what we have with RimPage as well. And one-on-one, you appreciate your opponent giving you a test, giving you an opportunity to test yourself and see where your skills really are. So that respect factor is there, the honor factor is there. We are like one big team.
Yes, yes. Wonderful. It's a really huge team, which everyone
Yes.
is on that team. That is the spirit of Rimpage.
Right.
And it's so, so beautiful. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing all of that. And
Yes.
obviously, as we said before, this is so huge that we have to tackle this subject in increments, in small
Right.
pieces.
Right.
And we talk about subjects that are most relevant to you. And because we want to touch young players particularly, that is why we're focusing, talking about specifics like we did today. Do you want to add anything to what we have said? What would be your message
Yes.
to to those young
Well,
players, Pat?
a RimPage team member, Rob Yates, said in a conversation that RimPage is like a drum. It's like a little drum.
Mhm.
And here I am in sixth grade wanting to be a professional player and didn't have that opportunity. I'm beating the RimPage drum. I can say
Yes.
I am RimPage, but every player who wants that opportunity, every player who's wanted to get on the stage but felt like they didn't have an opportunity can say I am RimPage. And so we can beat that drum here in Texas. We can beat that drum in Baltimore. We can beat that drum in Africa. But imagine if all of us are beating the RimPage drum. We'll make a thunderous sound so loud that the world won't be able to ignore us. So let's get
Absolutely.
after this. Let's get it. This is your stage. This was created for you. Let's do it.
So wonderful. So if you're catching this and you know that perhaps your son or your daughter or your niece or nephew are playing basketball, please share this video with them. Let them ask questions. We're more than happy to bring their questions to the table and answer every single point that they need to raise at this stage.
Yes.
We will share the link, but the website is rimpage.club. If you want all the information that we have shared today and more, you can see videos, you can see players' rankings, right? Am I right,
Yes.
Patrick?
Yep. Yep.
Yes, you can see what Rimpage is all about. So have a little look there. And if you're curious, if you, as I said, if you know anyone who is connected with the game of basketball, whether they're a coach, whether they're a parent to somebody who is playing or dreaming about playing basketball professionally, please share this with them. They will want to be part of it. And
Yes.
also, you
Oh,
are invited on this journey too. Go
we
ahead.
have a growing community on Facebook. RimPage has a Facebook group. Please join that group and be a part of the culture, be a part of the community there. If you have any questions, I'm in that group. You can ask all your questions there.
Yes, we will share that information with you as well, the link to the Facebook group. So if you are curious, if you're a fan of basketball as well, we have plenty of them in the group
Yes.
as well. Yes.
Perfect.
In yes, our next live is on Friday when we network with people who are part of our network, and we invite you to come and share your mission with us because we want to connect you with people who are relevant to you, and you may also know some
Perfect.
people who will want to be connected with us.
All
So
right.
come and join us on Friday, same time.
Please do. Same time. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank you all for showing up, and thank you, Pat, for sharing all of that. See
Thank you,
you
Katrina.
next
See you next
time.
time.